What's up, everybody? This is Big D for the Freedom for You and Me channel. Thank you for joining me today. It's been a little bit since I made a video. I've got a lot of emails requesting new videos, so here we go. Just been swamped and trying to focus on making money. So I'm back anyway. You know, I've gotten some constructive criticism as well about, you know, rambling and things like that, but I don't make videos every other day, so I kind of try to cram as much as I can into the videos I get. This one is going to be, I think, entitled the pushback of counties and state. What we're seeing now is a massive drop in home sale prices, which in turn means, you know, states and counties and cities and municipalities are in trouble, because this is what's happening. This is the latest Illinois home sale prices. You see that right there? This is where they were in, let's see, May of 06 to November of 09. This is the Illinois average sales price of homes. You see what's happening here. We had a little bit of, you know, there was the bottom. We had a little bit of an increase here this year, and then it's just fallen completely off. This is primarily due to, I want to make sure you guys can see this. This is primarily due to foreclosures, your neighbor's house, you know, and people not being able to sell anything. This is probably one of the most important charts that's sitting out there, because this is what's happening. This is what I got in the mail today. All right, this is just the ones I got today. This is increase in property taxes. Okay, you see all this? This is just the ones I got today. I have a whole stack of them that I've gotten over the last 3 days. And what they're saying in here is that, hey, what the chart I just showed you, this thing, this bad boy, this doesn't mean anything. You know, they want more money. That's just today, folks. That you understand this. I'm contesting everything that I own. You know, and it's going to be, you know, a 5-day process, because they want everything in triplicate. They want valuations in triplicate, and you know, it can be done. But here's what's going to happen. You know, I'm going to contest everything I own. I'm going to go into the board of review. I'm going to tell them, no, my property's not worth what it was 2 years ago. My property's not worth the 2007. You know, I'm not up here anymore. I'm right here. So what's that mean? That means that, you know, for next year's tax rolls, it's not going to happen. It can't happen. The counties are broke. They're already broke, but they're basing, you know, here in Illinois, the way it works is you pay in arrears. So, you know, we're paying this year for last year's. And so it's just eventually going to catch up. What that means is it's going to compound itself and get much worse. Because you're talking the price variation between an average home going from 215,000 average sales price down to 142. I mean, that's huge. That is absolutely huge. So cities, counties, municipalities it's going to get a lot worse, because I mean, it's a lagging process to where the money comes in after the fact. You know, you don't prepay typically for your real estate taxes. So the counties and tax, you know, they're going to get squeezed. And what's that mean? That means everything else is going up. Everything else is going up. Fees, inspections, fines, parking tickets. You know, if you get pulled over, you're not going to get any more warnings. You're going to get, you know, the fines. Everything's going to increase, and it's going to be a basic complete lockdown. Case in point, if you want to look it up on Google, Woodford County, which is a county here in Illinois, is raising their property taxes 15% for next year. 15%. And that's just the beginning. You know, the city where I live, they're talking increases in everything. You know, sales tax, fees, fines, property tax. You know, obviously, because, you know, we're getting the notices now that hold on to your wallet. So, you know, there's going to be a special council meeting where I'm at, because anything over 5% has to go before the public. Anything over 5% increase in property taxes has to go before the public. You guys probably want to research your towns, your counties, your cities, your municipalities to find out what procedures they have to do to massively raise your property taxes, because that affects everybody, whether you're renting or not, because then everything gets folded back into the rent. So rent prices will go up. Everything's going to go up. On a side note, the money supply issue is massively increased. There was a link, and I'll try to find it, a story on Bloomberg that they've never seen banks hold this much cash. And for those of you that missed it, back in the late 70s, early 80s, the money supply increased 13%, which is why we had that massive inflation. They had to increase the interest rates up to 20% to pull that back. Right now, what we're looking at is an increase in money supply at 120%. So where the hell do you think interest rates are going to go? They're going to go through the roof. The dollar's tanking. India's buying 200 metric tons of gold, which is 8% of the supply that's in the world. They were the first ones to trigger this out. Gold's getting close to 1,100 right now. Here we go. This is it. This is the trigger. In February, the Federal Reserve will be pulling out $1.5 trillion that's basically propping up the economy that we're in right now. So look for some massive changes here, December, January, and especially in February. In January, the fourth quarter numbers are going to come out, and everything that you've been reading about the third quarter numbers is all bullshit. Excuse me. It's all fluff and fake and everything else, because you got cash for clunkers. You've got an $8,000 first-time home buyers program that's kind of propping up the sales in real estate, but it's not enough, because once that expires, they're talking about expiring that out the end of April, but it's going to be phased out. But nothing's getting better. Have you noticed this? Nothing is getting better at all. So it's going to be a damn mess. It's going to get a lot worse. Get in the gold now. I mean, even if it's $1,100 an ounce, you can go to Midas Resources or AMPX and get what you can there. It's only going to get worse. The dollar's at an all-time low. I think the dollar index is somewhere around 75, 74, right in that range. I know we were under 76. About 18 months ago, we were at 124. So if that tells you where we are, I think once we hit 72, it's going to plummet from there. I don't own any stocks, just for everyone out there. I'm not bullish or bearish on anything. I'm a realist. I think 90% of the people that are involved with stocks don't know what the hell they're doing. People are seeing their 401k statements are up 2/3, and they're saying, hey, this is great, not a problem. Never mind that we're not producing jobs and we're not producing anything anymore. Warren Buffett went out and spent billions of dollars on this rail company. He's basically eliminating his cash and getting into something tangible. And once oil prices peak again, which they're going to, rail car travel is a lot less expensive than truck travel. So it's not good. But getting back to the original purpose of this is happening, folks. If you haven't got yours, look at this. This right here, this represents an increase of about, just this stack is about $5,000 extra a year. And like I said, I've got a stack like that sitting back in my other office at my house. So they're coming for you. They're coming for everything you have. Yeah, you might still have a job, but your money's not only buying less, it's getting less, and they're taking more. And at some point, we're gonna have to start pushing back. They're not listening. The Tea Parties are a great idea. I don't know that they go far enough, to be honest with you. We're trying to get wrapped into they're trying to wrap it into the Republican Party, which I'm not agreeing with that at all. But so be it. I think we're coming up on a trigger point here within the next couple months, and once the real numbers start to unfold, because they can't prop this up forever, then I think you're going to see an unleash of people like myself that have just had enough. And not saying to take it to the next level, but when you're broke, it's like Gerald Salente says, when you have nothing left to lose, and you lose it. So God bless. Thanks for the emails, guys, and I'll try to make more videos on a regular basis. But I just wanted to give you this chart. This is probably one of the most important things you're going to see out of Illinois right here. This is what's happening in Illinois. So keep this in mind. Find out what's going on in your state, and then look for these to start hitting your mail soon. Peace.